Oh, well, when's Michigan State going to get a 4-star? How about today? That's right, LaRue Zamorano out of Southern California. He commits to our Spartans. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as playoffs have winded down. The sports have stopped sporting like we want them to. But hey, guys, this summer FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day. All summer launches. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, thank you all so much for spending some of your weekend with us here at Locked On Spartans, because that's right. 4-star corner, LaRue Zamorano, he commits to the Michigan State Spartans. We're going to be talking about that with our guy, Connor Muldowney of Spartan Shadows. But before we let him open his mouth here, please rate, review, subscribe, comment below how you are feeling about this commit. And also, as we are less than 5 weeks away till kickoff, let us know what you are most excited for. That's what me and Connor are going to be talking about in segments 2 and 3. But, God, Connor, just like that sentence leaving my mouth, less than 5 weeks until kickoff, like it almost just seems like football's here right now in an odd way. I know it's July in the calendar, but like, oh my goodness, like I'm ready to crack open the fireball in a parking lot in East Lansing right now, man.
I mean, you just got me fired up. I'm ready to run through a wall for you.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. But, before we get to what we're most excited about on the field, off the field, it'll be fun in segments 2 and 3, but it's going to be really fun here because, yeah, sure, less than 5 weeks till kickoff, but we are, guys, just only 18 weeks away from early signing day, and LaRue Zamorano, he commits to Michigan State. That's right, Jonathan Smith, Coach Meat going in for the kill here on this one for the 6'2", 186-pound cornerback out of Southern California. Like we said, Rivals has him rated as a 4-star. This means he is MSU's highest rated commit according to Rivals, or if you want to look at the 24/7 Sports Composite, he's the second highest commit of this class so far, only behind Jace Clarizio of East Lansing. So there you have it. Is that going to satisfy everyone, Connor? We finally got the 4-star. Is recruiting just fixed for the 2025 class now? Mission accomplished?
Yeah, surely everybody's super happy about this, and they're not going to complain until National Signing Day. Surely not.
Please, come on. No, it's okay. Good. I'm glad we're aligned here. So a little bit about Mr. Zamorano. He is from Centennial High School, again, in Southern California. He plays in Division I in California, and on a pretty good team, too. Centennial went 9-3 last year, lost by 1 point to St. John Bosco Prep. Really strong school out there. He's the third California commit for Michigan State of this class. Leo Hannon, the quarterback, and offensive lineman Drew Nichols also joining him. Now, a little bit more about his ranking. Yes, he's a 4-star on Rivals, ranked the number 245 kid overall in the class, the number 22 corner, and the number 23 kid overall in Cali. He had 3 visits in June: Michigan State, Kansas, and Washington. Washington was the other school competing for his commitment on this beautiful Saturday, and well, let's cut to the chase here. We know how it ended. Michigan State got it. He also had offers from Oregon, Penn State, Nebraska, Arizona, USC, Utah. So I have 2 instant thoughts when I see Mr. Zamorano commit. The first one is great. Awesome. Kid's not only committed, but he's also committed as a 4-star or a highly rated 3-star, depending on what site you want. We need some star power in this class. There's no secret about that. And number 2, Coach Meat gets results. I mentioned the Oregon offer. That actually happened when Coach Meat was over at Oregon. So this has been a long relationship, strong commitment for Coach Meat. But Connor, you see LaRue commit. Your instant reaction is blank.
Coach Meat is him. Like, honestly, he's done more for State than I think people realize. And, This is just the latest commitment. That might be Jonathan Smith's best hire.
And combined with Blue Adams too, right? Like they have been killing it in the secondary. It's been nice.
And like he's not getting the highest rated guys, like, whatever. It is what it is. But
sure.
Top 500 kid, pull him away from, Washington or all the other West Coast schools that offered him. I think UCLA tried to come in there at the end, and I think Deshaun Foster maybe froze up a little bit and couldn't get the job done. But no, I think this just shows that Coach Mead is like he's the recruiter, like the ace recruiter on the staff.
Yeah, and that also goes further than just high school, because we just wrapped up a transfer portal season with Legend Cavazos, Nikai Martinez out of Central Florida, and also Ed Woods Okay, we beat Alabama in a heads-up battle with Ed Woods and his commitment. And, like, that wasn't a thing where, like, oh, he visited Alabama and Alabama wanted to go different ways. Like, no, Alabama wanted that kid. So it's not just high school recruiting, which is what we are celebrating today, but we're just only a few months removed from a strong transfer portal season when it comes to the secondary. So shout out, everyone, Jonathan Smith, Coach Rossi, but specifically Coach Meat and Blue Adams. This is a really strong pickup. So this also kind of reemphasizes too, this is something that we've been barking up and down about on this show here as to, maybe why this class is only hovering around 50 nationally, is that recruiting, especially when you get to your 4 stars, 5 stars, highly rated 3 stars, it's predicated a lot on 2+ year relationships. This is kind of another notch in that belt right now. I know that Coach Meat's only been here for 1 year, but he's known LaRue for 2 years. He is trusting Coach Meat with his development in the future. So I think that's just another example of, sometimes it does take 2+ years to land the big boys in recruiting. So just to go along with the secondary here for the 2025 class, Connor, Aiden West, 6-footer, 180-ish pounds. George Mullins out of Florida, 6'3", 175 pounds. Stacked that on top of the 2024 class, you have Andrew Brinson, Justin Denson, and Jalen Thompson. That's a strong 6-pack right there, I got to say. Now, what sticks out about his film, personally, I'm just going to mention one thing. So I think LaRue Zamorano is a really good open field tackler. And Connor, I know you know this. You play college football 2025 in EA Sports, or if you just watch football during the fall, you know that tackling isn't everyone's strong suit in college football, specifically in the secondary. So he's a strong open field tackler, what we are seeing in his highlight film. And I'm not reporting this. I don't even want to predict it, but I could see this being okay. Maybe he's the guy that slides into the nickel position eventually in his career. But Connor, what this does for the class, just like we're saying, it's hovering around 50th. In the 24/7 Sports Composite, you plug him in. Michigan State now the 51st ranked class in the nation. They just jumped University of South Florida. Suck it. Utah, suck it. And Virginia, suck it. So hovering around 50. Are you one of the fans that are kind of still panicking and unhappy, or are you just chalking it up to, this is what it is in your first full cycle as a staff?
I think the overall ranking is a little bit skewed, and it doesn't really show. We don't have a single guy that's rated under an 86 in the composite. Which
interesting. Okay.
I don't know if anybody pays attention to 247 or anything, but I think 89-ish is where the 4 stars start, and 86 to 89 is a high 3-star technically. Yeah. So he's getting quality guys, top to bottom. He's building a base. This is his first year. He was left kind of a mess. I know that the 24 recruiting class was falling apart when he took over, and he, boosted it from 90 something to 30 something. So I think once he starts winning on the field or showing, what he's got, I think you're going to start seeing top 25 classes. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking up and down about it. I'm sure that, the everyday listeners are bashing their head against the wall, but here we go again. It is going to take a little bit of time, just because where Michigan State is as a program, all right? I know we don't want to hear it. I know you hate to be reminded of it. It's back-to-back bowl gameless seasons, all right? They got to put themselves back on the map. The coaching staff, which a lot of them came from out of region, they need to build these new relationships. Again, the 2+ year relationships with recruiting. I know everyone's tired of hearing about it, but that's a big reason why it's hovering around 50. So while we're building relationships, while we're waiting for the wins to pile up, you get guys that fit your culture. You get guys that you have known for a while. So this is why you get the class that you have right now. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the rankings to get better, fill it up with guys that you want in this class culturally, as well as a little bit of skill too. These guys do have some skill here and there. Connor, we are going to be talking about this upcoming season. Less than 5 weeks. I'm fired up. You're fired up. Let's get the rest of Spartan Nation fired up. But first, I hate to do this to you. I got to send you to the bench because I need to talk to people's ears off about Ibotta. That is right. Our good friends, they are back. Ibotta. And you know what? Hey, are you going to take that dream vacation this summer, but you're just dreading the cost? I get it. Everything costs way more these days. With Ibotta, you get cash back on all of your purchases, so you can spend more time on making memories for the rest of the summer and less time dreaming about them. Guys, Ibotta is a free app that lets you Earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies and even toys. So you make sure that you are beating inflation no matter what you are purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns, get this, sit down, get ready for this one, $256 per year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, that flight that you've been having your eyes on, or hey, the fancy dinner or two that you have been craving. You can save on over 2,400 brands and shop at over 1,000 retailers, including your favorites. Guys, right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using code LOCKEDONCollege. That's all one word, LOCKEDONCollege, when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code LOCKEDONCollege. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code LOCKEDONCollege. Also, guys, hey, Factor Foods. That is right. Are we looking to have some delicious meals and also being a little more health conscious as we end this summer? Well, hey, guys, fuel up with them. With Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals for the rest of the summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. That's right. You could get your meal ready in the time this ad break is over. So no matter how busy you are, you will always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you will always have new flavors to explore. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, blackened salmon. That is right. You are eating good with Factor. So head to factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 and use code LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code LockedOnCollege50 at factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. Well, while your subscription is active. And joined once again by the one, the only Connor Muldowney, because guys, it is less than 5 weeks until kickoff. My goodness gracious, you could already hear the drum line playing in the distance. It is beautiful. So I was going to say, you know what, we're each going to come up with 5 things that we are most excited about, but I quite frankly lost count, Connor. You bet first. I've been doing a lot of rambling. I've got a lot written down. I want to see if your first one is going to match any on my list. What has gotten you fired up for August 30th, my man? Woo!
Easy choice would be a competent offense. Like
Wow.
play calling wise, led by a QB who actually can throw the ball.
I could cry right now. I could cry. Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
I have a little stat. Just to remind everyone, because I'm sure everyone remembers last season as being a lot of fun. A lot of celebration, a lot of high-fiving the person next to you on the couch or the stadium. Do you remember how many points per game Michigan State scored last year? Here, just a little pop quiz. Throw you on the hot seat right here.
I'm gonna say 17.
Yeah, it was 13.3. I mean, 17's a horrible number. It was even worse than that, according to TeamRankings.com. Maybe that can't be an accurate number.
Was that the worst?
It was the second worst. I think Iowa was maybe below them, but nevertheless, it was horrible. So just for the last few seasons, Oregon State last year, 29.9 points per game, 29.3 points per game the year before that, 30.3 the year before that, and then even 28.9 the year before that. So, that's not gangbusters. That's not Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma numbers. That's not Oregon numbers, but it's just like you said, Connor, it's competent.
Yeah.
And that's why my number one is also just Aidan Chiles, specifically, Connor. The first 55-yard bomb he throws, or the first time he breaks out of the pocket and scrambles for a 15-yard game, because is it safe to say we've been miserable since week 3 of last year? Is that safe to say?
I've enjoyed every single thing about Michigan State football ever since. That's
right. I forgot you're a masochist over there. That's right. Forgot that you enjoy the pain. But for the rest of us that have been sad for about 10 months now, it has been shaking up a Pepsi can for the last 10 months. So just the first sign of excitement of a deep pass, of a scramble, of the beginning of a new chapter, that's going to be shaking that can and just opening it. And then, my God, there's just fizz everywhere. It is going to be so exciting. But God, that first play is just going to represent change, Connor, isn't it? I you know what? Just an 18-yard scramble against FAU. I don't care if we're already down 3-0 in the first quarter. That's going to get the people going.
Electric. The most electric 3-yard scramble you'll ever see.
I could just hook it into my veins right now. God, football cannot get here soon enough. Number 2 on your list, Connor. Let's just keep firing these off, man.
I just said like overall a defensive improvement, like scheme wise, everything. Like it just didn't work under Scotty Hazelton. I think everybody knows that. And surprise, shocker! I know breaking news.
I thought things went fine. I thought it went great actually. I enjoyed giving up like 30.
The players love
that's not a true stat.
The players love.
They couldn't get enough of the scheme. You could tell in their offseason quotes too that they really missed the scheme that they used to play under.
Yep. A little 4-2-5, love that. The improvement scheme wise, and having a defensive coordinator who's actually had success in the Big Ten. I'm excited to see how much it improves and like what kind of depth that we have both in the secondary and up front.
There's been a lot of depth. We actually just had an episode not too long ago that, this is the deepest secondary that we've had in quite some time. So just to piggyback off that, I'm just going to knock off like 2 specific defensive ones I have. It's seen where Dylan Tatum is just going to be playing this year. Like, obviously, we know he's a solid player. He's a good athlete. But I just want the answer to the question. We think he's going to be safety. It seems to be it. But just, a little bit ago at Big Ten Media Days, he said that his position is safety-ish. Now, I don't play a lot of Madden these days. I don't play a lot of NCAA college football 2025 these days. I've never seen safety-ish written down on any depth chart, whether it's in real football or virtual football. But where do you think Dylan Tatum finds himself on the field? Is it going to be safety? Are they going to have his hand in the dirt? Is he going to be playing defensive tackle? Or what do you got for Dylan Tatum here?
I think he's going to be safety. I think he'll be
okay.
Safety. I think they have too much depth at cornerback, and the safety depth is kind of like just not there. So thanks to his good buddy Jaden Mangum, who decided to jump ship. But
he's playing, isn't he? He's still in East Lansing. There's no news or headlines about that.
For Michigan State, yeah.
Okay, good.
No, I think he'll be safety. I think that makes the most sense for him. He was good at cornerback. Like I actually liked him at cornerback, but I think with Edwards, Chance Rucker, and like all the new guys they got in the portal, there's just no way he's going to be playing. I mean, he'll probably play a little bit of both, like a hybrid role, but like most of the time he'll probably be safety.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see how they're going to work like the Nikai Martinez, Dylan Tatum, and Malik Spencer thing. Like, is it going to be like volleyball where they just like rotate a position every play and like, so okay, Nikai, you're nickel this play, Dylan, you're the box safety, and go up there, Malik, you're gonna be free safety. No, I think it'll be like Malik as your nickel, and then just Tatum and Nikai splitting those safety roles up there. So I'm just fascinated to just get an answer to that question. We think we know the answer, but
what about Andrew Gross?
Nickel, I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
you can tell I'm confident with that. Well, yeah, I just like it's hard because he's had so much playing experience, especially like as a starter there. But I think he's going to be taking a backup role to nickel now coming up this season. That's how I see things shaking out at least.
Yeah, you think Spencer's do you think it's going to be Smith and Tatum at safety and then Spencer at nickel?
I think it'll be Nikai Martinez and then Dylan Tatum at safety. Who gets the box and who gets the free safety? That to be determined. I'm going to take the coward's way out and punt on that one right now. But I think Spencer does move on because you just have to have Spencer somewhere on the field. I mean, point blank. So yeah, and that might actually help Angelo Gross too. Just like get some pressure off my kid, because he's been kind of the scapegoat at times this season. Which fair or not, he's also been injured quite a bit too. So like maybe this is just going to be better for everyone involved here when it comes to the nickel position. So just fascinating to see like what that starting 11 looks like on the field. Also too, just really quick, I'm just going to say a guy's name. It's Jalen Thompson. I'm just excited for him too. Really strong finish to the year last year as a true freshman. He was kind of like the unsung 4-star defensive end in that class. He was behind Andrew DePate by Joe, but he was the one that was ready first and the guy that's still here. And he might be our best shot at this rush edge position and getting to the quarterback. So I'm sky high and seeing what we have in Jalen Thompson coming up this year. So he's got my heart all warm and fuzzy 5 weeks out ahead of kickoff.
If there's anyone on the defensive line that I'm most excited about, it's definitely him for sure.
It has to be. And just really quick, one other defensive thing too. This is specific. It's the first tackle from Cal Haladay this season. And then the announcers immediately saying that, oh, you know what? He doesn't wear gloves. Isn't that crazy? He doesn't like that. That is the official songbird of the start of Michigan State football season right there. Like you can set your watch to that. So that's going to sound great over the Big Ten Network broadcast in week 1. Cannot wait for that. Do you want to sneak out another one really quick here?
I have written down it's a combination. It's the offensive line. I want to see how much it's actually improved.
Okay.
And I just want to see Nate Carter. Like, I feel like people are sleeping on him for some reason, but he ran behind one of the worst offensive lines in the Power 5 last year. Yeah. And now he's got an improved line according to everybody on the coaching staff. So I honestly think he could be like a 1,200-yard rusher.
I love that. Let's go. He's also got a strong running mate too, K'Ron Lynch-Adams, so hopefully that could take some snaps off his hands. I mean that in the best way possible. Like, just keep him healthy, keep him somewhat fresh. But yeah, going last 10 games of the season, I think it was without a touchdown. Like, I don't just want to see Nate Carter, like, selfishly as a fan. I just want to see Nate Carter, like, smile this year. Like, he's such a good kid. He's such a great leader. He's such a great football player. Like, I just want to see the kid smile.
He deserves it.
Let him find the end zone in the month of October, November this year, guys. Like, good God, he deserves it. He's nice. He's a great kid.
He hasn't scored a touchdown past the month of September in 3 years, I think, because he was hurt in 20.
Yeah, that's a great stat. That's actually a horrible stat, but like that's a great call on your part. Oh my God,
tough.
I just want to see Nate Carter smile in October and November. That's all. That's not asking a lot. No. I also want to see people smile when they do some wagering over at FanDuel Sportsbook. How do you like that segue right there? Guys, the Olympics are upon us, and my goodness gracious, if you haven't checked out FanDuel's Olympic Hub, first of all, make sure you're sitting down because it is so overwhelming, the amount of bets they have. Every single discipline in every single sport, my goodness gracious, FanDuel pretty much has you covered. Now, who here, or just a show of hands, has placed a beach volleyball parlay wager? Oh, that's right, that's me. I parlayed the winner of the men's, the winner of the women's together, just $2.50, and I did like some launch shot for the men's and the second best odds for the women's. Couldn't give you any of their names, but that's going to pay out like $113 when that hits. That's right, we're shooting for the moon on this one. Guys, I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop, but hey, we just said it. Playoffs are winding down. We're getting fewer games, but the Olympics are ramping back up. And FanDuel is going to keep you going. All I got to do is open up the app and dream up any bets whenever I'm in the mood. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone, every day, all summer long. So what are you waiting for out there? Head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most of your summer. It's FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Now let's drag him back. That's right. He just can't say no. Every time I ask, he just comes on because he's such a nice guy. It's Connor Muldowney of Spartan Shadows. We're getting fired up for kickoff, which is 5 weeks away. And Connor, this goes back to your first one, competent offense. I'm excited and a little scared. I'm going to admit that for the first 4th and 1 of the season. Because if they convert that, I'm ready to just fully just say, yeah, this is a staff. Extend them right now until 2036. I don't care. But if they don't pick that up, I'm ready to have everyone fired. I'm ready to say this is no better than the last staff. Everyone leave. Everyone get out right now. So that 4th and 1 is going to be the most pressure-filled play I could possibly think of going into the season.
You wouldn't overreact. You wouldn't overreact on that.
Oh, not me.
No. Yeah. I didn't write this down, but like kind of playing off of that, I'm just excited to see what the first play of the season is. Like, are we just going to run it between the tackles, or are we going to like? Are we airing it out? Are we going for 6 right away?
I would like pay an homage to the last staff and do a flea flicker first play of the game.
that would be pretty cool.
Harken back to the good days, and and then next chapter, here you are. Here's a nice little outside zone run. Yeah,
I mean, it worked. It worked more than it should have, honestly.
It was nice. God, you know what? Like, not to make this about the last staff, but like the swaggiest thing that they possibly said is like, we don't even consider flea flicker a trick play. that's just a play we run.
Yeah. I mean, they ran it a lot. They did run it a lot.
They did. They found some success with it, and that might be the only play they found success with once Kenneth Walker left the program, unfortunately. How many more do you have written down here? Because before I start bleeding out the rest of my list, I want to hear what you've got to fire the people up here, Connor.
I have 2 more.
Let's go.
I have how we fare against elite competition. Like, are we going to get blown out in the first quarter against Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State? Do we play Penn State this year?
Not this year, luckily. Yeah, we're off the books.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, like Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, Will we come out firing against Iowa, like stuff like that? I don't want another 4-game losing streak in the middle of the season, which has become the norm, and losing all these games by 40 points.
I hear you.
Yeah. And then the last one is, this one's kind of like an off the field, but I want to see how recruiting is impacted by winning or losing. I want to see.
Okay. Because, that was the big thing that we've been talking about, is how efficient they've been with their June visitors. I think they had 29 kids visit, and like 16 of them now were either commits or have eventually committed. Nevertheless, the number 28 or 29, whatever it was, is important because you only get, I think it's 70 or 75 visits throughout the season. And, maybe they're banking some of those for trying to flip some kids in the fall. Of course, that also translates to or that also counts against transfer portal targets too. So it's going to be a mix of both. But yes, in-season recruiting is going to be fascinating here. Can you get off to a hot enough start? Can you start getting kids on campus to, flex the program a little bit? But to take it back to how we are going to play against elite competition, I should have this number seared into my brain because, not only have we watched it the last few years, but we've also been talking about it. I think it was the last 4 years against Ohio State, the average score was 37-4 at the half. I might be on or off by like a point or two, but like it is close to how much of a bloodbath it has been. Even the good year in 2021, I think that's when they went in the locker room up like 49-0 or something like that. Like it's been horrible. So like we cannot do this every year. This is the only year we could do this, but like there might be like some tinges of moral victories here against like the Ohio States and the Oregons of the world this season. Does that make me a coward?
No. It's bad when we're celebrating like, oh, it's only 28-0 at half. Like that's.
It's gonna sound really bad, but like there will be something to it, I think.
Well, like if we have like we're within a score or two of Ohio State, like into the third quarter, like I feel like it's not even Ohio State, like Michigan, Oregon.
Sure.
Like if we're within a score or two of them after halftime at any point, I'm planning a parade.
You know how low I'm setting the bar for this season. It's like if you could just let us dream in one of the Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon games. Good job. Good job.
I agree. Let us have like an inkling of hope at some point in the game. Yeah. I don't care if it's like we score first and we're up 7-0 for 5 minutes. Let me have it.
Let us get to halftime saying, okay, we get the ball back, we score, we get a stop, and then we score again, and then we're only down 4 points. Like, give me some scenario where I could parlay 4 series together, and then we're back in the game.
Yeah,
that's all. That's not asking a lot, is it?
No, we're not. We're barely asking for anything.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to go off the field here with my next one. And this might be a little off the wall, but like if you guys are out there and you listen to the press conferences and you want to know about injuries, Connor, in a sick way, there's no good way to say this, but like, look, guys, injuries in football are inevitable. It's the first post-game press conference where Jonathan Smith discusses injuries. I actually went back and I listened to a press conference. It was a few years back, but I'm pretty sure it's not too far from how he handles things right now. Jonathan Smith, like, went through where on the body the injury was, how long they're going to be out, and how they've been doing during the week. Like, he's almost breaking, like, OSHA laws, if that's the correct term. He's almost breaking OSHA laws with, like, how in-depth he is about talking about guys' injuries. Whereas the last few years, look, I get it. You want to be secretive with injuries. There's a strategy to that. I'm not going to knock that portion. It's just when, like, Connor, like, last year, a meteor could have struck the field and our linebacker core could have been vaporized, just turned it into a pile of ash right there in the field. And he could have been asked about it and he would have just said, like, they're sore. We'll see. It's like, it's just, one, it's nice to know information. Two, it's nice to just be talked to like an adult and like we're not idiots. So I'm just excited for transparency in press conferences when it comes to injuries. I know it's such like a weird thing to say, but
I think you're thinking of HIPAA for sure. But
it is HIPAA.
OSHA, I think, is workplace safety, but I mean,
same thing.
But yeah, I agree. Like Jonathan Smith is the exact opposite. Like that's like you said. Like they could have been vaporized on the field. Like somebody could have broken your leg clean in half with a bone sticking out, and you'd be like, "We're gonna take it day by day." You know, we're not gonna talk about it. It's just like. Just tell us. I want specifics. I want to know how many tendons are torn. I want to know the size of this hair. I want to know everything.
And, I'm actually going to lean into the OSHA thing because, hey, these are paid athletes now. The field is their workplace. That's how we're going to spin on that one and get myself out of an embarrassing jam there. Connor, the last one, and if you frequent Spartan Stadium a lot, I think this is something that we can all make a notice of right here. And oddly, it's when they flash the 50-50 numbers on the screen. But afterwards, right after, it's and we still have unclaimed tickets from these games. And they're the 3 biggest games in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And mysteriously no one has claimed those jackpots. Look, I'm sure I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning after I said this with a knock on the door from the fine folks of the Spartan Fund. I might have a red dot pointing at my forehead, but I'm just for the seemingly 15th straight year in a row, just the top 3 jackpots just unmysteriously being claimed. But I always get a kick out of that sitting in the stands at Spartan Stadium, being like, oh wow, the last 2 Michigan games were never claimed. That's odd. Those were double the jackpots that they usually are. I wonder why no one's come forward. So
interesting.
I might have to edit all this out just for my own safety.
No. Yeah. Keep it. But if we don't see you again, we know why.
We certainly know why. Connor, just through the offense, just through 50-50 tickets and everything in between, I think the people are ready for kickoff. Did we do a good job?
Give me a helmet shuffle. Give me a helmet shuffle to start my day. Like a drunken helmet shuffle, anything. I don't care. You'll be 10 fireball shots deep trying to figure out which helmet has the ball. That's
10 fireball shots deep. I just bought $20 worth of 50-50 tickets that I know are a sham.
Yeah.
I'm nursing a $15 beer that I just bought after waiting 45 minutes in line for. Yeah. The 50-50 shuffle is going on as the guy behind me just spilled 800-degree hot chocolate on my back. I need it. I need it in my life, though. I need it.
State's only losing to Ohio State by 27.
Let's go. God, let's go. Yep. It needs to get here. It needs to get here right now. I hate to wish away summer. It's my favorite season of the year, but let's go. Let's kick this season off.
I'm ready.
Folks, we will be back. Whether you like it or not, we will be back here on Locked On Spartans. We do this 5 days a week here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Connor, cannot thank you enough. Cannot thank you for all the hard work that you do, not just on this show, but over at Spartan Shadows and just your life in general. Folks, until next time, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or have a great start to your week coming up. Love you all, especially you, Connor. Go Green.